Hello, and welcome to the McTaggart Attack podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart, and this is my podcast where I talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. I get mad about stuff, happy about stuff, just talk about stuff. I have a few specific episodes each week, like I have What's Pissing You Off Wednesday. That's every Wednesday. Occasionally I'll do a top 10 Thursday where I give my top 10 list of things that I like or whatever. Also have Trivial Nonsense Friday, where I talk about cornucopia of things that are on my mind. And sometimes I have podcast episodes that are dedicated to just one topic. Like today. Today's topic is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That's today's topic. Before I get to that, though, you can reach out to me via email at mctaggartattack@gmail.com. Email me for any reason. Whatever. Maybe I'll even read it on the podcast. If you have a What's Pissing You Off Wednesday that you want me to get mad about for you, if you have a topic that you want me to get mad about for you, you can email me for What's Pissing You Off Wednesday. You can also tweet me at KevMcT. That's at KEVMCT. First three letters of my first name and the first three letters of my last name. Not that hard. There's also the McTaggart Attack podcast Facebook page where you can look me up on there. I think I have 270 something likes. I'd like to get more likes. I should spend some money and try to get more people to like the page. Probably not a bad idea. Who knows? Let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Just any other formalities and whatnot before we get to the topic of the episode. No, I don't think so. I think I've talked about everything that I needed to get on with it. So let's get on with it. This is one thing I'll occasionally do. I'll go see a movie or a TV show, and I'll give my thoughts about it. Like I did a 6-part series on the final season of Game of Thrones. My thoughts on every episode of the 6 episodes that they had. That's why it was a 6-part series. Not that hard to figure out. Let's see. So yeah. I went and saw Godzilla, King of the Monsters Friday night at the Nugget Theater in Hanover, New Hampshire. It's a nice little theater. They get some good movies, and it's clean. I like a clean movie theater. I don't know about anyone else who doesn't like a clean movie theater, but I like a clean movie theater. I think that's important. And I went to, I think it was the 9/10 show. And there weren't that many people in there, but from what I understand, the movies made a lot of money this weekend, I think. I might be wrong about that. I thought that I saw that it's already made like $50 million or something like that. Who knows? Who cares? Who cares how much money your movie makes? Well, maybe the movie producers do. The movie producers probably do care about how much money your movie makes. So there's that. So yeah, I went and saw the movie. I liked the first movie. This is a sequel. Godzilla, King of the Monsters is a sequel to the Godzilla movie that came out in 2014. That they say starring Bryan Cranston, but spoiler alert, he's in like only the first half an hour of the movie. He dies pretty early on. It's sort of like when, spoiler alert, Samuel L. Jackson died in Deep Blue Sea. which is the best way I think any starring character has ever died in a movie, is Deep Blue Sea. Seriously, go see Deep Blue Sea to see, you know, well, I've ruined it for you now, but just go watch how Samuel L. Jackson dies in Deep Blue Sea. It's hilarious and shocking all at the same time. So anyway, yeah, I saw the first Godzilla movie, well, in 2014, and this Godzilla King of the Monsters, like I said, is a sequel to that. And it follows up. First of all, there will be spoilers because the movie starts about 5 years after the events in the first movie. So that was interesting, and it's just how they're dealing with the fact that there's, Godzilla. They didn't know that Godzilla was a thing. And now Godzilla is around, and apparently there's other monsters around now too, that the movie talks about. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I want to tell you what the movie's about, because then you probably won't see it, and I don't want to do that. But I'll just give my thoughts on it. I really enjoyed it. I thought the movie was great. I thought the movie was better than the first one, which is rare to say. You hardly ever see where the second movie is better than the first movie. But I thought this movie was better because there was more monster fighting. There was more monster on monster fighting. One thing I didn't like about the first Godzilla movie was how many scenes there were with just human being actors. I thought there was too much focus on that, and it's like they would focus on what was happening to the human beings, and like Godzilla would be fighting in the background and you could barely see it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, so that was kind of annoying, but I still liked that Godzilla movie nonetheless. But this one had a lot more monsters fighting, and you saw the monsters fighting, and it was great. Focused a lot more on the monsters. Because why do you go see a Godzilla movie? To see monsters fighting. Okay? It's like, that's what disappointed me about like the Pacific Rim movies, was how it really didn't focus all that much on the robots and the monsters fighting each other. It was just focused more on the actors in the movie, and I don't give a shit about it, actors when we have monster movies. Giant monsters. And I love that this Godzilla King of the Monsters focused on that for the most part. Yes, there were signs. Yes, there were scenes. Sorry, there were scenes. With actors in them having, they had to. It couldn't just be monsters fighting for 2 hours, which actually would have been fine. But they had to have some, actors in it too. To give it some semblance of a plot. Even though, really, all you need is monsters fighting. And then one monster wins at the end. Who gives a fuck? You don't even need actors. Makes no sense. But no, I really liked Godzilla King of the Monsters. I liked I thought the cast was really good too. It had the girl from Stranger Things. I can't remember her name, but you know who I mean when I say girl from Stranger Things. And then it had a few other actors in it too that I liked. Like it had Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. It was nice to see him act like a bad guy still in another movie. Oh, it was also scary to see Tywin Lannister with a gun. Imagine if he had a gun in Game of Thrones. The show would have been a lot different if they had guns in Game of Thrones. But yeah, I really liked. Let me look up the cast of characters just so I don't say, oh, such and such and such and such and such and such. Those people from that stuff. But yeah, I should probably look up the cast just to be like, just to you know, just so I don't be that person. Let's see, Godzilla, King of Monsters. Go to Wikipedia, I guess. Cast. Where's the cast? Yeah, Kyle Chandler. He did a really good job in the movie. He was good. Vera Farmiga. I've seen her in a few things. She was really good in the movie. Millie Bobby Brown. That's the girl from Stranger Things. Bradley Whitford had the comic relief role, which was weird for him because I don't think I'd ever really seen him really be the comic relief that much. But like he was maybe a bit too much with the comic relief. It's like everything he said was like funny. You know, he never like was. There were no serious moments with him. It was almost as if they added him in there after they performed in the movie. And then a few other people who I don't know their name. Wait, is Charles Dancer the? Yeah. Charles Dance is Tywin Lannister, but I will not call Charles Dance Tywin. I will not call Charles Dance Charles Dance. I will call Charles Dance Tywin Lannister. Right. Let's see who else was in it. That I wanted to get to. Yeah, Ken Watanabe is back. He's one of like 2 or 3 people that carried over from the first Godzilla movie, and he's in this one. Uh, and he did a good job too. It's hard to understand what they're saying, though. I understand that they're from another country, that they're Oriental people, but it's kind of hard to understand their accents. But that's understood, I guess. But yeah, no. I thought none of the human actors in Godzilla King of the Monsters annoyed me that much. So there's that. Take that for what it's worth. In the movie because that's what you want in a movie that focuses on monsters fighting each other. You don't want the humans to annoy you with their acting. And I don't feel like any of the actors annoyed me with their acting skills, in this movie. There were no cringeworthy lines that I can recall that really bothered me. There may have been some, but no, I thought it was pretty good, and I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought the monster scenes were great. Godzilla was a badass. I can't pronounce most of the monsters' names, which is fine. But I did think that the movie was pretty good. Let's see, what else did I like about it? I think I did talk about everything that I needed to discuss about what I liked about this movie. Did I? Yeah. Oh, one thing that it alludes to it sort of shows a clip of King Kong, and then at one of the last scenes, during the credits, one of the last glimpses is that you see that there's a drawing of a picture, a drawing of Kong fighting Godzilla, and I know that movie's coming out. I want to say next year or the year after, but I'm really excited for Kong versus Godzilla. I love King Kong and I love Godzilla. I think I like Kong more though, because he's hairier. Probably. No. I love King Kong more than I like Godzilla. But I like them both. I'll be rooting for King Kong. So let's see. And I don't want to tell you what it is, but in case you're going to see this movie, yes, there is a scene after the credits. Okay? So prepare yourself. Go to the restroom before the movie starts, or go at some point during the movie. I don't know when you would be able to go. But just brace yourself for the fact that there is a scene after the credits, okay? You'll thank me later. Alright. So yeah, that's been my thoughts on Godzilla, the King of the Monsters. Thought it was awesome. Highly recommend it. Go see it. I really like what they're doing with Godzilla. It's so much better than that shitty Matthew Broderick movie back from like 20 years ago. Holy shit, was that terrible. But this was so much better than that. It's just so great. So yeah, just go watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, and you can thank me later. That's all I have for this episode of the McTaggart Attack podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. You know, my email address, McTaggartAttack@gmail.com, Twitter @KevMcT, or find the Facebook page for the McTaggart Attack podcast as well. Alright. And that's the bottom line if you smell what the McTaggart Attack podcast is cooking.